Good afternoon once more. Welcome to a new episode, and thanks for the trust that you bestowed onto us. Here again, this is Kenlab for another episode of Physics, part of physical properties and characteristics that involve density and all its measurements and measuring units. On the previous audio that was sent to you, you have a detailed account of the physical quantities that exist in physics. The basic ones we have learned acceleration, velocity, density, pressure, just to name a few. So today we are going to bring down or describe what density is all about. Now, density actually in its basic definition is simply the mass per unit volume of an object or a substance. That is the mass divided by the volume of this substance. Now, usually we have the measuring unit of density to be the grams per milliliter, or better still, the grams per cubic meters, or the gram per centimeters. Now, at a later inverse or a later interpretation of what density is all about, we realize that there are so many properties. There's so many properties on the next slide that you're seeing. There are so many properties that actually characterize density and what gives a factor of a density in a substance. For example, we have the first one. The density of a substance actually have a direct relationship with what? With the mass, okay? With the mass of that particular object. The mass of the particular object will actually influence the density of a substance. What am I trying to say here? Now, mass actually describes the amount of material, okay, the amount of matter present in an object. The amount of matter present in an object. That is the amount of material contained in an object. Now, if you have a greater amount of material present in a substance, we have a greater density. The greater the amount of material or matter present in a substance, the greater the density. The direct proportionality between density and mass are actually straightforward. That is, they have a direct proportionality, and it is inverse proportional to the volume. Now, the volume actually describes the space, the total amount of space occupied by a substance or by an object. Now, how do we prove that the matter contained in an object actually affect the density? Now, looking at the next slide, you realize that the lower the amount of matter present in an object affects the density of an object. So the greater the matter content, the greater the matter content or the material contained in an object we have, the greater the density. And to end this, I would like to say that the level of compaction, the level at which materials are compacted, if you take the different state of, for example, if you take the different state of matter, you realize that we have the solid, the liquid, and the gas. So the different arrangement, the different in terms of amount, okay, the different condensation of what the way materials are condensed in a substance increase the density. Now, looking at our next slide, you realize that for the gaseous state normally have particles that are spread around the place, which give them the ability to free move around the material. This reduces the density of the material. Now, looking at the next, which is the liquid, you realize that we have more closely compacted material, more close molecules that are actually almost touching each other. Now, if you want to take the solid state are said characterized by having material in close contact that give them the ability to do what? To vibrate or move around a fixed position. Okay, so this amount of material actually affects the density of the material. Thank you very much and stay tuned.